and North Imenti constituencies, Honorable Ali Wario, Honorable Mwenje, and Honorable Rahim Dawood, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44 2C, requested statements from the Cabinet Secretary for Defense concerning the upcoming Kenya Defense Forces recruitment. The members specifically sought clarification on the following. Number one, inclusion of candidates from Tarasa and Kokane sub-counties in the upcoming Kenya Defense Forces recruitment program. Number two is the criteria used by the Kenya Defense Forces in designating recruitment centers in Nairobi City, and the last one, which is the third one, is inclusion of Imenti East sub-county in the upcoming Kenya Defense Forces recruitment. Honorable Speaker, the committee engaged the Ministry of Defense on the above concerns raised by honorable members, and I therefore wish to respond to these issues as follows. The Kenya Defense Forces carries a constitutional mandate of safeguarding the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic. To sustain this mandate, KDF regularly replenishes its ranks to offset attrition, expand units, and integrate specialized capabilities. Recruitment follows the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which requires national security organs to reflect the nation's diversity and inclusivity, offering young citizens an opportunity to serve with discipline, patriotism, and pride. The upcoming nationwide recruitment exercise is scheduled to commence on 13th of October 2025, covering all 412 sub-counties, as provided by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration over a 2-week period. To uphold public trust, KDF has launched an online recruitment management system to ensure transparency, fairness, and merit-based selection. Honorable Speaker, it's important for members to note that, and this has been an attribute of conmen, that no calling letters will be issued manually. People have been paying money, to crooks out there, and then they provide letters that look very much like those ones that are issued by the KDF, only to get to the recruiting, to the training center, and they are turned away, giving our military a very bad name. Yet, those are letters that are manufactured by crooks. They take money from innocent Kenyans who are seeking recruitment, and then they are turned away during recruitment. So that exercise will not happen this time around because biometrics will be taken, like I stated, and no calling letters will be issued manually. Biometrics and electronic data will be captured in the centers, preventing post-exercise manipulation. Just to break it down for members to understand is, those who will have been recruited in the centers, their data will be captured, and a message will be sent to them on when to report, and they will report without any letters. So the conmen who are fond of issuing letters during recruitment will definitely not have a field day this time around. Honorable Speaker, on inclusion of Tarasa and Kokane sub-counties, this is for Honorable Ali Wario. As of August 2025, the recognized administrative units of Tana River County are Tana River, Galle, I don't know if I will read this properly, but let me try, Galle Yetu, but it's pronounced differently. Tana North, spelled differently rather, Bangale and Tana Delta. Although Tarasa is not listed as a county, it is recognized as one of the 3 divisions within the Tana Delta and duly considered. Honorable Wario, I hope you captured that. Candidates from Tarasa and Kokane will not be disadvantaged. They will be considered based on their division of domicile. Honorable Speaker, on Honorable Mwenje, on criteria used designated recruitment centers in Nairobi County. Just to mention, Honorable Speaker, this matter is in court. Today, both parties appear in court. Tomorrow, they will also appear in court. And a ruling will be made in the course of the week. So I will not delve much into this matter, but let me just raise this issue to Honorable Mwenje, that KDF selects centers based on accessibility, fairness, and efficiency. In Nairobi County, Nyayo Stadium, Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, and Jamhuri grounds are designated due to, number 1, central location and ease of access. Number 2, spacious facilities, enabling efficient accommodation and transport connectivity. And number 3, proven record in hosting past successful recruitment exercises. The choice of these centers considers logistics, expected turnout, and demographic equity guided by 2019 Kenya consensus data from Kenya National Bureau of Standards. Just for the comfort also of Honorable Mwenje and members, is that the KDF Act only gives recruiting centers as county headquarters. But because they want to be as fair as possible, that is why they moved it further to sub-counties. But the Act provides that it should be done in the county's headquarters. Honorable Speaker, on inclusion of Mwenje East sub-county, this is for Honorable Rahim Dawood. As of August 2025, Meru County administrative units include Meru Central, Igembe South, Igembe Central, Igembe North, Tigania East, Tigania West, Tigania Central, Buri East, Buri West, and Imenti North. Candidates from Imenti East will not be disadvantaged. They will be considered from their division of domicile. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the Ministry assures the people of Kenya that no location will be disadvantaged as all divisions are represented based on population and demographics. The Ministry of Interior continues to update gazetted administrative units, which informs KDF planning for subsequent recruitment drives. The 2025 KDF recruitment drive is a strategic investment in Kenya's future unity and security, conducted transparently and inclusively. It reaffirms KDF's commitment to safeguarding sovereignty and nurturing patriotic generation ready to serve. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, allow me to add this point. I will really prevail on members, particularly those who have concern, that sometimes it is quicker and easy if we are able to engage as members. I'm very available because of purposely for this exercise that is going to take a month. Some of the issues that are being raised can quickly be addressed by a phone call that I can make to the ministry, and we address it as quick as possible. When we have these exchanges, sometimes it takes time because of the bureaucracy. By the time it gets to the ministry and gets back, yet a response that we'll have gotten here, Honorable Speaker. So I want to indulge members that if it is possible, I will prefer that we handle this thing off the plenary and make sure that all the questions that you raised, I am able to, or any member of my committee is able to address as quick as possible. Most of these cases that appear and are coming up now are almost similar in nature. It's either administrative unit that has been forgotten or some centers that have been misspelled or, the normal cases that we have and people feeling disadvantaged. I really want to prevail on members that I am available. The Ministry of Defense is available to respond to all the questions that you might have. And for better serving the members, because this is an extremely contentious issue, I'm saying I'll be availing myself for the entire month for the questions that you have. Let us sit down, let's build consensus so that we can have a transparent process as possible. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and I submit.
Very well. Is the Honorable Mwenje in the House? And if you are the three of you, then each Honorable just one bite. Beginning with Honorable Mwenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me start by expressing my utmost disappointment in the response that I've received. Honorable Speaker, it's true that this matter has gone to court, and all 19 members of Parliament from Nairobi are the petitioners. Honorable Speaker, this came as a result of us engaging. I want to start from where the Honorable Nelson Koech ended. We wrote a letter, and I'm glad he's here today, Honorable Koech. We've not been able to find you for quite some time. We wrote a letter. 19 members of Parliament. The first challenge we faced is that you cannot deliver a letter at Ulinzi House, at DOD, because you are not even granted access to get in there. We managed to get in there, served a letter, and requested for a response within 7 days. 7 days, 8 days later, there was no response from the Cabinet Secretary. Members of Parliament from Nairobi held a press conference. That is when DOD felt they would now want to engage us. Now let us go into the response that is given us. He said there are 412 sub-counties. They got the list, so they know the total number of sub-counties. In Nairobi alone, we have a population of 5.5 million. Honorable Speaker, just for the record, we have 17 constituencies in Nairobi and 18 sub-counties. The Kasarani constituency, which is one of the largest, has 2 sub-counties. So, Honorable Speaker, in his response from the Cabinet Secretary, is that out of 17 constituencies, 18 sub-counties, there'll only be 3 recruitment centers. While in the other 273 constituencies, we have 290 constituencies, Honorable Speaker, 273, remove the 17 from Nairobi, 273, there will be recruitment in the 273 constituencies. But when you come to Nairobi, that is where you draw the line. That's where you say, no, those people from Embakasi West, Embakasi East, Makadara, can you all pile up into Nyayo Stadium, and then we are going to make you line up there and recruit. Let me remind him of the numbers in Nairobi. We have 5.5 million people in Nairobi. Which other county can boast of such numbers? When it comes to even voters, we have over 3 million votes. Who else has those kind of numbers? So how can he explain to us that the DOD finds it fit in Nairobi because I don't have a stadium in Embakasi West, there's no stadium in Embakasi East, there's no stadium in Kibra. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to police recruitment, they are doing it in the 17 sub-counties in Nairobi. They've combined only one, the one in Kasarani, but they're doing it here. When it came to prison constables, they recruited in the 17. Now, Honorable Speaker, when he says we don't have facilities in Nairobi, is the Cabinet Secretary trying to tell me that in the other 273 constituencies, and let me be clear that it's not 273 venues, because when you go to Kiambu, there are 12 constituencies, but recruitment areas are about 16. Is he saying that in all these areas, and I apologize, I don't refer to him, it's just because he's the one who's read, but it's from the Cabinet Secretary, is she saying that there are stadiums in all the other constituencies? Is that what you're saying? Because we have the fields like everyone else. We know where you're going to recruit in Githongori, or Kiambu, or Thika, or Manyora. We know it's enough open field, which will be marked. People will be running around. What is this special thing that is out there that we as Nairobi do not have, Honorable Speaker? Now, he has said the act. She has said, I apologize. The Cabinet Secretary said that the act provides for recruitment at sub-counties, at county level. Then why don't you change the advert, make it fair for all of us? Recruit at county, only 47 centers. Let's see if that will be approved. Because why would you say the act says this, so you implement that here in Nairobi, but when you go to other areas, you decide to do something else? So, Honorable Speaker,
great.
I could go into so many things, but one of the reasons why we are against it, this is a bad precedent. The police have recruited at sub-county. When it comes to teachers, they've been recruited at sub-county. When it comes to even NGC, CARA projects, they are done even at sub-county. We even have our own DCCs anyway. If the Cabinet Secretary is allowed to do this, it's only a matter of time before all the gains we have gained as Nairobi starts being eroded. That is why, Honorable Speaker, I'll not go into the details because I have our legal arguments, but because the matter is sub judice, I'll not pursue it further. But I will tell them, and I want to make this very clear, Honorable Speaker. This is discrimination against Nairobi.
Very well.
Just a second, Honorable Speaker. And the 3.5 million voters we have in Nairobi, and we will hit 4 million, we will remind them that this is what you're doing to us. We are hoping that the courts will give us orders, but if we don't get, we will remind them. And for CS Tuya, we know she hates Nairobi, and we're going to keep that in mind. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, Honorable Mwenje. If you have to discuss anyone, then you have to bring a substantive motion. Okay. Do we have the Honorable, also interested in this matter, Honorable Ali Wario? Be brief, because you are 3 of you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Chair for the response, but not satisfactory. Honorable Speaker, Garseni constituency is 16,000 square kilometers. Initially, before this administration came in, we had only one sub-county called Tana Delta. Honorable Speaker, the CS, Honorable Tuya, was once in this house, and she was the speaker's panel. She actually led many sessions in this parliament. Honorable Speaker, first of all, before this statement, we wrote her letters. In fact, even I sent her through WhatsApp. Honorable Speaker, and my letter was received at the DOD headquarters. There was no response on that letter. There was no response on the WhatsApp letter I sent her, and she was in this house, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Garseni constituency, the tail end of Boni Forest is in Garseni constituency. We suffered a lot under Al-Shabaab. Honorable Speaker, when you go from Malindi to Garsen, you encounter a KDF roadblock because of insecurity. Honorable Speaker, it is very unfortunate. We have one government under one flag. They know the sub-counties of this country gazetted by this government of the Republic of Kenya and the leadership of William Samoei Ruto, the president. But it is unfortunate when the KDF say they don't have the gazetted sub-counties. One of my sub-county called Tarasa, there is a DCC serving there. It is fully operational. Honorable Speaker, it is unfortunate that Garseni constituency, in fact, Kokane sub-county, Honorable Speaker, it is 11,000 square kilometers. More than half of Garseni constituency. Those people are being marginalized. From recruitment center, the one they have gazetted, they are 176 kilometers from Garseni town. The place called Koech. How can a youth travel from that end to Garsen? That is a very big shame, Honorable Speaker. So I urge, it is never too late. I appreciate the Kenya police because they have put Kokane sub-county and Tarasa sub-county in the recruitment list. The prisons did the same. And we are suffering the brunt of Al-Shabaab, Honorable Speaker. One of my police stations in my constituency called Gamba. Many police officers killed by Al-Shabaab because of. So, Honorable Speaker, I urge the chair to revert back to the DOD and the Cabinet Secretary to give justice to the youth of Garseni constituency.
Very well.
Kokane sub-county and Tarasa sub-county to be included.
Thank you.
No, there is no way that you can tell the people they will serve through the divisions. Kokane, there was no division in Kokane. But I thank His Excellency the President. He gave sub-counties because that place is very vast. And people get injustice. There is no single person in serving in the Kenya Defense Forces or police from Kokane sub-county. So, Honorable Speaker, I urge the Chair, this answer, it is very shallow, Chair. I mean, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Very well, you've made your point. And finally, the Honorable Dawood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say the chair of the committee is my good friend. We have served with him. But I think this statement is not good enough. He has just mentioned that he's always available. I have tried to get him for the last 2 weeks. I could not get him. So I don't know where he was, but I would not want to make a guess. Mr. Speaker, like what Honorable Mwenje has said, I wrote a letter. I took it to Lindsay House, but I was not allowed inside because it's a military installation, so it was very difficult. I talked to PS. He asked me to send it by WhatsApp to him and the CS. Even CS, I spoke to her. And Mr. Speaker, my sub-county was gazetted in 2022, but they insisted that it has to be operationalized, which was done on the 9th of September. I took the same letter to the National Police Service Commission, and I think the recruitment was only 3 days away, and National Police Service Commission did an addendum in the newspapers, and they put Imenti East Recruitment Center. So I put it to Chairman Honorable Koech. If the National Police Service could do it within 3 days, they did an addendum. Why can the Kenya Defense Forces not do the same? Is it not one government? I wonder, because if it is the same government, KDF should follow in the footsteps of Kenya Police Service, National Police Service Commission, and do an addendum. If in the unlikely event they do not do it, can the chairman then tell us that for the Imenti East sub-county, we can get a double allocation? If my people from Imenti East go to Imenti North, can we get a double allocation for the recruitment, if that would be possible? But I would prefer if an addendum is done, and I think the chair is capable. He's our next minister maybe, and the president. So I believe he can do it. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. This is a question that has been whipped by many members when the statement was raised. I also know it's a matter that is in court. But let me give the chair just the right of reply. Be very brief. We shall not go beyond that.
I will
because of the status in which we are. But then I would really want to ask the chair that when you hear what the members are saying, and you are the chair of the committee, and on behalf of Kenyans, if somebody will travel 176 kilometers, you can look in my eyes, then there's a serious point to this. But let's hear your reply. You need to actually make it easy for the Kenyan youths. I am also aware that even my own constituency does not have a center. It's called Mwenje. So we really need fairness. Proceed.
Precisely, Honorable Speaker. First, allow me to apologize for the members who have tried to find me for the last 2 weeks, as they said, and they have not. My apology, I was out in the US for the United Nations General Assembly, and I just came back last weekend, and then of course I've been in the constituency also just to catch up with what I was not able to do during that period. My apologies for that. Honorable Mwenje, I truly feel your frustration. Your colleague and the minister and the peers are our former colleagues. In fact, they were sitting in this, both of them were in the speaker's panel. When we raise these issues, because we want fairness for our people and the people that we represent. And I understand. In your wisdom, as members of parliament from Nairobi, you've decided that a fair arbiter will be the court, which is perfectly okay. I would want to allow that process to continue because the judgment, I'm told, will be made before the end of the week. Whichever way the decision of the court will go, I just want to promise you that this issue will be addressed. In fact, I've been organizing to speak to them on how then the Embakasi East, for instance, and all the other constituencies in Nairobi, how will you know that these you've picked from Langata? And they've said that how they will be recruiting in the recruiting centers, there will be designated points and recruitment points for Langata, for Embakasi East, Embakasi West, and these Dagoretti and these other constituencies. So that if you've been in the queue for Langata, there is no way you will end up in a queue of Embakasi East. So that all the sub-counties then are picked. And beyond that, Honorable Mwenje, we all come from a place. You'll find that my children also come from Belgut constituency. So we also have a constituency where we come from, even before we end up in Nairobi. And I think it is the thinking also that sometimes some of those who will have been recruited in Nairobi will be recruited in their original home. Nonetheless, I feel your frustration and those of the other colleagues, and I want to promise you that this matter will be addressed adequately. Honorable Wario, and on an issue of being turned away, Honorable Mwenje, of course, when you go to the military headquarters, you'll be turned away because that is a protected area. Even though you're a member of parliament, there is a procedure on how to get there. And that is why I was telling you it's easy. The Constitution has provided that the chairman become a link between parliament and executive, and that is my role now to take on your behalf. And I promise you that I will listen to you, and I will listen to the people that you represent, and I will make it happen, that you are heard fairly. On Honorable Wario, I also understand, like the speaker said, I mean, if you're talking about 70 kilometers to go
176 kilometers.
176? Yeah, your constituency is vast. It's an issue, again, that I want to promise. In fact, Honorable Speaker, if I will request, when I finish with this statement, can I have the three members sit with me outside and I can make calls now and see
Very
what
good.
can be
So
addressed.
make it brief, and
Yeah.
I will be allowing that.
Is that fair enough? And then Honorable Dawood, I think the best thing is when we step out, let me understand the issue, let me make a call and see if there are changes that we can make at this point, instead of back and forth with questions. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Very well, honorable members. I will not really open it up because of what I had earlier explained. Let's move to the next reply to a statement. And this one is a reply to the Honorable Samuel Gachombe. He's in the house. And